Okay, cool.
Sorry.
It's much better than the normal ASOS opening.
Awesome. All right. Continue on. Well, all right. So to start this episode off, we just had the ending of our fantasy football league, the inaugural, the first one. And there's two people in the finals, of course, how it's supposed to go.
I'll just sit this one out.
Not like
just like your fantasy season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
Well, all right. So two of the people on the screen, not me or K-Dot, were in the finals. I came in third. And then Ryan and Keem were in the finals, and somebody won, somebody lost.
Well,
yeah. I just like to say,
Keem put up a better team.
I was going up against the great Jamar Chase, who, my God, if it wasn't for Jamar Chase giving Ryan 55 points and scaring the shit out of me to the point where I'm like, Nick Chubb is going to win this shit on Monday night. And I was so worried. If he didn't get 55 from like Jamar Chase, it's like Ryan would have had like 70 points. Like it was a bad week. He had a bad week.
Yeah, my tight ends were all on IR. I got handcuffed by myself. I was like, Washington's a bad team. Should I put Patterson in or not? I went with DeAndre Swift because I was like, they just got to run the ball. Then they got blown out. They didn't run the ball once. I got too much in my head and I made a lot of mistakes. And so Keem came out on top. Hey, but we're exactly where we thought we would be at the end of the season, Keem. The two best players in the finals. So it is what it is. I'll see you. Hey, I'll see you there next year. How about that?
Hey, for sure. Hey, because I
yeah.
wasn't like, kind of like there were some other people who said like stuff like, if I don't make the playoffs in this league with these shitty players and stuff like that, then I should like quit fantasy.
I should like quit.
Oh, I'm done.
I didn't say that.
Y'all have fun next year. You hear?
Nah, K-Dot. This is the only league.
I'm a man of my word. I'm not gonna play.
No league.
No. You remember I gave myself an out like this minutes later when I said that shit. I was like, not with y'all. Like we're not any other league. There's one league I decided to participate in. I'm a commissioner, but beyond that, no.
I tried to rename my team, so I was driving down and I was bored, so I was trying to rename my team to Miss Edith's favorite team, but it was too long, and at that moment I was like, this isn't gonna go well. Can't even get my team name changed, right?
Oh, I got it. Yes, please call Miss Edith because she got to hear from me. She got to hear.
No, she had a message for you, but I wanted to say it in person.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Hey,
I told her.
On the pod. Hold on. Hello. Do not say anything incriminating. Hi, Mom.
Hi, James. All
right. So Keem and Ryan and Kate are here. And you had a message for Keem, Mrs. Edith's favorite. You wanted to know something, why he changed something.
Yes, I wanted to know why he changed it from putting on there Mrs. Edith's favorite. And I'm saying I wanted my royalty fee.
He said, pay me.
Yes.
I changed it.
You won with those little points because I got fewer.
I changed it because Ryan talks a lot. I wanted it to be championship specific because Ryan talks a lot of shit about Steph. And even though this was football, I was like, you know what? I know I'm going to beat Ryan. So I just had to make it about Steph to add that into it. That's the only reason.
It was insult to injury.
Okay. Well, I just have one question.
Go ahead.
When do I expect my royalty check?
Because she got you to the finals.
That loss did help me. That you did. You did make me to the finals.
All right, Mom. I'll talk to you later.
Right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have fun, y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's good. That's good. Anyway, congrats, Keen.
Yeah,
you
congrats,
deserved it. You ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna win next year though. What happened? Hey, remember when I was saying earlier, like way early in the season, I was like, I think Joe Burrow is like the most accurate quarterback in the league, and I think he's the truth. And then the last couple weeks, he was like, "Oh yeah, this leg's feeling great. I'm gonna throw for 500 yards every week."
Well,
man, what a
strange.
great-
We drafted that guy
because he's not playing
and
the
then
last.
cut him in week 3.
Oh yeah, you did have him.
I did. It's the season started off kind of rough because Christian McCaffrey, and I was just making some really, really desperate moves early,
dude.
And they ended up being. Really
why were
bad.
you so desperate? What when
I didn't like the outlook
bad?
Because what was happening with Christian McCaffrey, I had to I was making a lot of moves, and the thing is, I will admit I went too far gone early on in the season, and then nothing that helped panned out. I should have just stuck with what I had.
You got in your own way. I did the
absolutely.
I did the same thing. Once you start overthinking, you're actually underthinking, and that is facts.
That's the thing is do you ever draft case in point, you draft a team you don't like and you think you have to kind of make up for it with moves early on. It's just you're getting your own way. And I did that mad early and it was over.
All right. So
remember when
that's a perfect segue.
Jamar Chase,
you're talking about
he can't catch. It's crazy.
In terms of getting in your own way.
Go on.
We're going to talk about AB.
Okay.
And how he ended his own season and most likely career on Sunday. Most likely.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers are not going to cut him for a while. I think they're just going to keep him there on the roster so he doesn't play.
I believe he is.
They have not cut him.
Then he's moved to a non-roster spot because they're bringing up.
There has not been a waiver.
They haven't done anything.
They have literally done nothing. I'm expecting
Nothing.
a suspension, conduct detrimental, maybe something, but they have not done a single thing. They're basically holding him hostage right now.
Yeah,
they'll suspend him because I think they're trying to see how that they cannot be culpable for this because I think they realized they played a part in it. If it was more clear cut and dry, hey, we're gonna get rid of him, whatever. We did it's kind of fucked up, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll keep him around. I don't know. I think they're trying to figure it out right now.
Well,
they're still
I'm hoping they're keeping him on the team so that he can continue to use the NFL's medical services going forward. But probably not.
Possibly, but
there's this story that
he has to want to do it.
There's a story that AB's camp leaked today, which was that his friends were worried about him and because they say he has a high pain threshold. They're worried because they knew that he was in pain. They asked him to go check out doctors outside the facility, and the doctors outside the facility, once they did the MRI, said, "Hey, you shouldn't have been playing, or you shouldn't be playing." Which seems like a lot of cleanup stuff. That's the thing is that people are saying stuff at this point at which the truth is probably going to come out. Mm-hmm. There's enough. I think there was, from what I understand, there were a couple guys that were mic'd up for Tampa Bay that were there on the sidelines that we still haven't heard the audio from. And beyond that, if there was an MRI done, there's going to be a paper trail there. Now, it's a lot easier to fake that in the sense of if you just got a doctor outside of the NFL that is on any sort of payroll, they can do whatever it is they need to do for you. But I think this is a situation of regardless of how it is, you got two sides that based on their track record, nothing's too unbelievable. But I will say one side is a little more believable than the other. Bruce Arians he doesn't really have a filter. He's known for being the guy that can be a little abrupt and abrasive in what he says. So you can imagine it doesn't scream past the possible point of possibility. Right. But he's one of those old heads in that way. Right. So it doesn't scream an impossibility that he said, "Oh, you're not going to do what I say. Well, fuck off. You're off the team now." Right. In that other sense, the other side is Antonio Brown. And if there's anyone who I'm probably not going to believe on anything, just based on track record, is Antonio Brown. We could go through the list of shit from the helmet situation to not paying anybody that you have provide a service for you, to the feet, the cryogenic feet, the Harriet Tubman ones,
the hot air balloon.
There's so many shenanigans with this dude. it ends up being the boy who cried wolf, right?
He put the team at risk earlier this year with this fake vaccine card. Come on.
But see, this thing, there's a boy who cried wolf sort of thing happening with Antonio, which is that, and that kind of sucks, because if he is telling the truth, then this is something that needs to truly be investigated, and some people need to get in trouble for doing it. But just because of the way that you've done things, and even if it is true, the way you conducted yourself getting out of the game does not lead anyone to want to believe what it is you have to say.
Yeah. Look.
Well, Bruce Arians came out and said that he didn't know that he was injured at all. So he said,
I don't know that
and on one side. So somebody's lying.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. But that would play to Antonio Brown's camp's point. Like, he's saying, like, I'm too injured to go back in the game. They're telling him to go back in the game. And he's like, no, I'm too injured. Like, I can't play.
Yeah,
or whatever.
But Bruce Arians is saying, like, you didn't tell me you were injured. You just didn't want to go.
I wouldn't be shocked if, well, first off, I went back and watched some of the routes AB ran that game. Yeah. If he was injured, that is just elite physical talent.
His camp countered that by saying, like, he had a high pain tolerance.
Right. And I would also not put it past AB or a lot of other athletes for initially being like, nah, I'm good to go. And then halfway through the game being like, I'm not good to go anymore. But nobody else has been apprised. It's like, right this second, I'm not good to go. Is it because he's not getting the ball, etc.? And I think the way AB handled it was super poor. And he skipped off the field.
Yeah.
I disagree. I don't think he handled it poorly if it happened the way they say it happened. But that's if you believe that.
Right. But if that's the story, why would you make it the exit the way he did? You see what I'm saying? Like,
who gives a shit at that point?
Big story.
Because now you trying to play me. I'm a grown ass man, and you're not. Yeah. And you, so basically you're gonna tell me, all right, I told you I can't come in because XYZ, and you're gonna tell me, hey, they said that you're cut. You're cut from the team. That's what the report said. Hey, they told him he was cut. And so at that point, why the fuck am I here? You right? Okay, I'm cut. Bye. I don't need you. Bye. I would have did the same thing in that situation.
Same way? Not the exact same way.
Only if that's true.
How's your six pack looking? You gonna do it the same way?
Well,
or would you just run into the locker room?
It was cold, so I don't like cold, and so I probably wouldn't have took my stuff off. I probably would have ran to the locker room with my stuff on and then took it off there.
Run or hobble.
But you know what I'm saying? But you could say he's a charitable person because he gave his stuff away to people that are going to sell his stuff for money.
He didn't give away the most important thing, which is the jersey. But would you run or hobble to the locker room?
Would you skip?
I would run. I would jog, light jog. Just get in. I don't think whether he.
But
I don't
you're
know
injured. Why would you do that?
I don't know what are they saying was hurt?
His
ankle. Which he had issues with earlier in the week or the past couple of weeks.
Look,
but see that could be a cutting thing. That doesn't have to be it could just be a cutting thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing. His cuts that he was making not only this week but the prior week. If they're saying that he was hurt in that level, high pain threshold or not, you shouldn't be able to do some of that shit. Now, I don't want to look, this is one of those situations where I think the truth is actually going to come out. So I don't think it's something that anybody needs to jump on any one particular camp so strongly right now until all the facts come out. But if you're just going based on track record up until this point, Antonio has not done himself any favors over the course of his career that would lead one to believe that he's being truthful in this manner. I don't want to think it's true as far as that you have NFL teams that are still forcing players to go out and play when they know they're hurt in that way. But if anyone were to tell me that team doctors are on the side of the franchise and the owners and the powers that be to make the money, you wouldn't hear me necessarily say that that's untrue. So it's just one of those things that I really want to see what the truth ends up being, because I mean, whoever's on the wrong side of this, the hammer's going to come down, or at least it should.
I think I don't put anything past anybody. Like, and that would include like Bruce Arians and co. From bench people too. Yeah. So like, yeah. I'm like, I need more information. For example, like Gone Girl is one of my favorite movies, and a lot of people like pointed the finger at Nick Dunn for like, oh, he definitely murdered his wife because, you know, he's a shitty guy. He was cheating on his wife, whatever. But just because you did X doesn't mean you did Z. Like, I mean, you might be a shitty person, but maybe you didn't do this one thing. Like, and so I'm like benefit of the doubt until I need more information.
And I think that would even make Tampa more shitty if you're leveraging AB's history to make people be on your side and use it against them. It's shitty. Also, Bruce Arians still catches flack for, sir, you're the one who said he had one strike. You're the one that continued to let it go on because you wanted to win the games. So even if it has devolved into the situation in which you're saying it is, that's on you. So like, regardless of how it goes, Bruce Arians does not walk away from this unscathed. You fucked up. And I like the
scathed for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I don't think anybody walks away from this not looking at least a little bit like a jackass. Sidebar, just for what you said, Keem. Every relationship I'm ever in, one of the first required watches once we're officially dating is Gone Girl. Because afterwards, I need to know whose side were you on? If you tell me you on her side, it's done. And I shit you not.
You go, girl. You gotta go.
The one person that looks good at this moment would be Tom for that.
I mean, first off,
perfect press conference.
Tom,
the press conference. Just because of that.
Tom's gonna use this as fuel anyway.
He's gonna snort
it.
Use
anything as fuel.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Oh shit!
Fucking
you cough when I was trying to make my audible. Oh, I'm gonna kill your team. Like the fuck.
Gotta
love it. But the thing is, Tom is a leader of men, right? And you can't be a leader of men without one being a little bit of an asshole and two without being compassionate. And he's got him worked out, and that's why he is the way he is. So, he's the guy who took AB under his wing and he's been trying, and he realizes the issues AB's don't like that he has, and he's like, I don't like as a player, we're putting that aside right now, right? But as a human being, everybody's got to be looking out for this guy right now and giving him love, etc. That's a leader, because sports is secondary always to health. So,
and I think that like everybody online, I mean, I'm guilty of it too, that wanted to point to what's wrong with AB mentally. None of us are doctors in that way, and we shouldn't be speculating. I will say that we all have a little too much time on our hands. We keep bringing up Vontaze Perfect. Once again, I am very guilty of that. Dude, but I'm just saying there's a big difference in stuff before and after that.
I need to because I was watching. I had too much time, and I was watching ESPN.
Where are you getting it? Can you let me borrow some, dude?
No.
No,
right.
You can't have
my serious. Fuck off. You don't get my time. It's my time.
No, not at all.
I'm reclaiming
the most valuable thing in this world. Fuck that. They were discussing AB and that Vontaze Perfect hit, and they were saying how they had contact with some of his personal friends that were saying like, hey, there's a real thing in terms of him before and after.
Traumatic brain injury.
There is, but there's also, when it did happen, there were some people that started talking about it. I think Ryan Clark was on some show, and then there was somebody that was saying, and they were like, he's always kind of been this way. It's just
same program. We watch
right. So it's like, it's whatever, but I don't know. All I would say is that the same way Tom did, and the same way I think everybody on this pod thinks, we just hope he gets the help he needs. Because regardless of what it is that happened with this particular thing, AB has done enough over the years that it just makes it seem as though, brother, I don't know what's going on with your life. I just hope things work out a bit better for you and that you have a clearer headspace when you're doing the shit you do.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm not a doctor, but I do spend a lot of time looking at fact patterns and seeing outcomes based on fact patterns. And for example, some people are going to be alcoholics, right? It's just the nature of life. Some people are going to be violent, right? It's just the nature of life. I think what we're seeing, especially with all the recent deaths with ex-NFL players, is that with the CTE, which they've all come back with like at 30 and 34 with high stage CTE, is that your level to control what otherwise you may be able to control, alcoholism, violence, drug abuse, etc., that just seems to be going away as you get progressively worse with the CTE. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of years they start looking at that, because I mean, if you look into the, like, even historically, you started OJ, when he dies, his brain's going to be like the most sought after thing on the planet.
The scam's going to come back not guilty. That's what that scam's going to say.
Well, he did pay $10 million. So like,
but if I did it, this is how I would have done.
Exactly. And that's like some crazy, why would you say that shit?
I mean, they already are taking brains of deceased players.
Right. But I'm saying it seems like we're all like, why would he do this? As we see 40 other retired players do this, like Junior Seau, everyone was like, what?
Has there been a deceased NFL player that has done it, that has come back without CTE? Does anybody know that?
I don't think enough kickers have died yet.
Even still, like kickers,
it's not supposed to be funny, but
no. But even if I mean, maybe, I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. I'd be curious to see if anybody walks away from the game.
Well, Kata, I'll say this: like, look at it. Certain players may, like, if you don't, they're not going to test the brain of somebody that we don't think has CTE because they didn't do shit.
No. There are a lot. I know there are NFL players that have signed up to say, when I do pass away, to have my brain be examined for CTE, because you have to have a control, right? Like, there has to be, outside of the population, the general population, which is why we know. Okay,
this is all fairly new.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they've learned of this particular degenerative disease like within the past 15, 20 years, which was the whole point of that one movie that I watched once, and I really didn't care for that.
That fucking accent, Jesus Christ.
There was another movie about whatever.
Yeah, but I'm saying, if every movie after concussion,
but if it ends up being that that's the case, then maybe we start looking at football players as a whole in a different light. In the sense of, maybe there needs to be, in order to collect your paychecks, forced therapy sessions or forced anger management or learning how to cope. Because I mean, that's the thing, is like, if the numbers all come back as CTE, which I don't like, I hate that everybody's just quick to go with CTE, but I mean, if the case is that 100% of all players that do the brain thing, that do the scan, come back with some form of it, then I mean, maybe that's something that we need to be proactive about.
Here's another part of it though. Like,
better helmet.
Looking at it, like, when do we start playing football? I've seen over the past like 10 years, I've seen so many fucking 5-year-olds get knocked out from hits when they're playing like Pop Warner and shit. Like, I've had bad concussions. Like, as I've already said multiple times on this pod, like, that's one thing I'm worried about. Like, sometimes I do get angry and I'm like, shit, who knows? Like, we don't have anything in our brain like a woodpecker to stop our brain from moving.
Do we need to revisit no longer banning football?
I think
I've already said that a million times.
No, that's what I'm saying. Do we need to
football?
Huh? That's what I'm saying. But do we
not playing football?
I get it, but do we need to revisit it outside of the personal choice aspect? You saying that this is too dangerous to do.
You can't do that, because then are you going to ban UFC and boxing?
Maybe. I mean, I think boxing at this point has become so gladiator-like, and I feel as though maybe as a society we've evolved past it. If being really honest, the same way that we don't fucking have people fighting lines in the Coliseum anymore. Maybe we're just developed past this thing.
Did you watch the Lomachenko, his last fight?
No.
During that fight, he was beating the other boxer up so bad that he was looking at the corner like, yo, stop this. Like, in the middle of the fight, he's like, fam, what are you doing? Stop this. And then he did. Why
don't you stop it? You could opt out.
Nah, he was just, because the dude just kept getting up. He was getting beat.
Oh, you're really my bad. My bad. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, he was getting beat real bad. And he's like, fam, he could die if I keep hitting him like this.
Yeah, and, like, that's the shit. People don't. It's a violent fucking sport. It's very violent.
Here's my issue with that, and I've had that issue in a couple MMA fights, especially as of late, and it's one ref in particular. That is not just the corner's job. You have a professional inside the ring that is not fighting, and his only job is to protect the fighters, right? That's it. It's his only job. He's not scoring, right? All he's doing is making sure when they're in the clinch, they stop. If someone's getting hit in the back of the head, they stop. If someone's down, you stop it. That is his job. It's just protecting the fighters.
Yeah.
They are not doing their job. I've seen it. I hate it. Look, you could be a great fighter at 55, 14, and 2, right? You don't need to be 36, 0, and 0 to make $1 billion. What you need to do is be able to get to 36 fights.
Yeah. And to walk away afterward.
Right. You
I've
don't
seen
want to
that.
be.
I've seen that one fighter get punched in the head one time, and then now he's like fucking paralyzed and shit. Shit's crazy.
Yeah,
I remember the study. I don't know if it was a study or just something that Dana White said, but it was like the reason that UFC was safer than boxing was because you don't take as many hits to the head.
True, because it's
in UFC, because once you doing like you take about 5 of these and like you're knocked out and the shit is over.
Yeah.
And I don't know how true that is.
Well, there's also wrestling involved. In wrestling, although you can break limbs, it's not as, you don't impress upon their brain. You might break your nose, right? Like you might get an elbow to the nose, but this part of your body, for the most part, is staying safe. So, look, you get punched, that shit is not good for your body.
But you also hear like a lot of stories about UFC fighters too outside the ring. So,
well, I think
the chaos point.
I think that if you're like, my passion is to beat the shit out of somebody else, you may be walking in with more of a problem than like most people walking on the street. Sure. But as I've said before, I think UFC and those kind of things are a wonderful outlet for people who may have those kind of issues or like I want to be fighting. It gives them an avenue to do it in a way that doesn't hurt the public, right? And also can benefit them greatly, right? You can be a great fighter, make some money off it, and then also not be, out in the streets beating people or at home or whatever. So I think it's actually a really good outlet for some people, but it can damage your brain. So I don't know.
And the number is 99%. 99% of all brains studied after NFL players that have come back positive with some form of CT.
Was the 1% a kicker?
I do not see a breakdown of position, even though that'd be kind of interesting. But I mean, it's 99%. So I mean, that's the.
Is that a lot?
But it's also like I'm thinking like the players that donate that said like, yeah, I'm gonna donate my brain after. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's kind of like, are you guys organ donors?
No.
Like I'm an organ donor, right? So like, if I'm an NFL player at this point, I just think, so I'm actually thinking about, and it's kind of sad to think about, any NFL players that have passed away from natural causes recently, and I feel like that's been a fairly low
number. The only one who did was, not natural causes, but what was his name?
Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah, no, the one in they did a wellness check because they hadn't heard on about him in a couple days. Yeah. He died from drinking himself to death. Mm-hmm. But he also had stage 2 CTE. So it's not necessarily just being it's not necessarily just being violent or like just killing yourself. Sometimes you just drink yourself to death in 4 days.
Not to mention, I mean, if we're talking 99%, imagine how many of the guys we see on TV that are very coherent, that can do all these things, that probably do have CTE. Like, it's just, I think it affects people in different ways. But I think that what we need to start looking at from an NFL standpoint is, all right, what can we do to try to stem the worst case scenarios from occurring in these situations? So what do we need to do is there any therapies that can be tried to do? Is there anything that we can do to really get people in the right mindset when they leave the game? At least put them in the best possible position.
Yep. Yeah. Like when we think about the worst case scenario, the one that pops in my mind is Phillip Adams.
Yeah.
That shit was cool.
Or Junior Seau, who knew something was wrong.
Mm-hmm. So since we're talking about football, let's go into the last 2 topics I got on the docket. Hear me, Ryan said docket.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I love that word. I use it a lot, actually.
All right. So
Spider Pod's doing numbers.
That's what I do every day is dockets.
Sorry, wait, I don't need to get you off.
All right. So I'm looking at some of the biggest news stories this week, and an NFL MVP voter came out this week and said that he's not voting for Aaron Rodgers because he thinks Aaron Rodgers is an asshole and he hurt his team and he's not vaccinated, all this other shit. So he's like, I'm not voting for him. What do you guys think?
I think that's the dumbest shit, and it's a part of the reason why like there's this disconnect between like fans and the media. As somebody who like used to be and really always wanted to be a part of the media, like it's infuriating because it's like, bro, like you have like a vote for like this thing that matters. Like this matters in terms of people's legacy, in terms of, you know, things like money. That. This affects money. Like this affects pockets as well, and perception and narratives and things like that. And it's fucking infuriating just to be like some shit like just because you don't like a guy. It's the same thing that happens in baseball. It happens in baseball with the Hall of Fame voting. It's stupid. It happened in the NFL with T.O. Hall of Fame voting and shit. Like it's stupid. It's why. And I've always been a person who I've always said I never really wanted the media to get taken away their power to vote, because a lot of fans are like smart, and so like they don't really like as far and not just smart like that. Not that they're stupid. I'm smart in terms of the sport that they like, in terms of studying it, knowing it, like the impact, things like that, plays in different terms and stuff like that. They don't study the game, and a lot of people are casuals and they study box scores and stuff like that, and that's it. And so I've never wanted the media to have like their power completely taken away, but things like this makes me want that. But just to solve that one issue, I think there should be more balance in voting with things like this. In terms of Hall of Fame, all that stuff, like it should be, you know, media. It should be kind of how they do All-Star. Media, coaches, fans.
It's what, like 50% like, fans, 25% media, 25% players.
It'll be 33, but yeah.
And then NFL, and then the coaches choose the reserves.
Yes. Or something.
You're building a shed next to like Canton where they put in the reserves for the Hall of Fame.
I was just talking about the NBA also.
Oh,
look, like as far as like all pro MVP stuff like that, it should be more. It shouldn't just be media. Like it's just like
I think it should be more the coaches and players.
More coaches and players, but coaches. I mean, because some players are like, you know, they don't know what they be talking about either. To be fair, and that's why I've always wanted media to be involved. Because some players, like you'll hear them say stuff, and like, that don't really make sense. Or like players have favorites too, and that's why there should be a balance. Like like a good crop of players, got a good crop of coaches. There's enough quality of coaches. There's enough quality in players. Enough quality in media to, you know, prevent like stupid shit like somebody not getting Finals MVP in 2015 when they should have got it. But you know, like it shit happens, man.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a popularity contest.
I have never. So like, there's a lot of debate on like who is the greatest basketball player of all time, right? We got to go through eras, and we got to go through like best scorer, blah 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 blah. Barry Bonds is the best baseball player of all time.
Yep.
I think Juan Soto is on track to be very, 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 very good. In fact, he is on track to be Barry Bonds like right now, but that's for another day. Barry Bonds, I think if fans had a vote, and look, Barry Bonds was even a little bit before my time, right? But he's so good, I've gone back and watched full games of his. If real people had a vote, I think Barry Bonds would be in the Hall of Fame right now, right? Mm-hmm. I think Pete Rose would be in the Hall of Fame right now. There are some people who have votes, and this is starting to change because sadly older people are dying because they're old, and younger people are taking their place, and those younger people are able to look a little bit more objectively. It's not like, oh, that's the guy who ruined baseball, who saved baseball, but whatever, you know, it's more objective looking, folks. And you kind of have to look at it outside of, do I like him? Do I like his politics, which right now is huge, right? Do I like what he said to that player on third down? We're looking outside of that. We're voting the most valuable. It's not person. It's not father. It's not best friend. It's most valuable player, right?
Yeah.
Some people are like too wrapped up in what Twitter's telling them to just take a step back and be like, that guy's got 36 touchdowns and no interceptions over 5 games. That's
and
crazy.
like what you're saying about like that, it's like that old guard. It reminded me of that conversation, like the thing that kind of went viral, like with Kirk Herbstreit and the other guy, I forget, was it Anthony, like Howard? I can't remember, like when they were talking about how, back in my day, we loved playing football. We never set out of a bowl game.
Oh yeah,
and shit like that. Like, fuck out of here.
That's a whole the bowl game thing is just a whole thing. I don't even want to fucking.
It's here's why the bowl games are great. And I'll take 2 seconds on this.
Oh.
So VT played Maryland, right? VT got blown out with their third string, basically everybody. But like to me, I'm looking at, all right, these are some of the guys that are going to be here next year, right? Like these are our options. So like, who's doing it? It's an exhibition game at this point. It's almost like the spring game, because if I'm a fan of my team and my star wide receivers are like, yo, I'm going to the NFL. I'm healthy right now. I'm not going to come out to play this 6-6 bowl game and potentially get hurt and ruin my draft stock. I'm like, yeah, thank you for the 4 years that you've spent on my team trying to help us win. Now help yourself win.
Two things.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
2 things before we get on the topic at hand, just because a lot of asinine shit was said. Fuck your college fandom. Unless they're playing the athletes and they're on a contract, who gives a shit? Number 2, saying Barry Bonds the greatest baseball player of all time is a fucking stupid comment. There's a guy named Babe Ruth that lived, and if you think something different, you're a fucking idiot. Outside of those 2 things, you
not when even it comes better than Willie Mays. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, he was,
once again, just dumb shit. So outside of all those things, when it comes down to the MVP trophy, what it comes down to is people giving it more credit than it deserves and putting it in its proper place. The Associated Press, it's the Associated Press's MVP award. All right. So it's a press-based award. When we talk about players that want to, there's the NFL Top 100 that they air on the NFL Network, which players are voting for who they think the best player is in the league. I think that we just need to adjust how it is that we think about it. I've been looking at the MVP trophy for the National Football League for the last decades. For decades, thinking about how dumb the goddamn trophy is and why we don't have a best QB trophy compared to a most valuable player trophy. That alone to me has ruined the goddamn trophy, right? Because it now ends up being who's the best quarterback, even when you have a situation in which I think that should be a position that's looked upon on its own and in its own merit compared to other positions. Like Jonathan Taylor. I know that because of the way the season is ended for the Indianapolis Colts, but the dude had that was going to be such a hard road for him to get in, to be an actual MVP, real legitimate candidate above Aaron Rodgers. It's almost impossible. You look at some of the Derrick Henry seasons. You look at that Tennessee team and see that they're in the playoffs. Without question, the most important person to their team is that guy, right? But because of the way that we weigh the position itself, it skews it. Like even when you ask somebody what the most valuable player means, to me, it's supposed to be like, who's the most valuable person to their team, right? So every year it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. Every year it should be Lamar Jackson. Every year it should be fucking Derrick Henry in Tennessee. Those are the guys who are the most valuable to their goddamn team. Yeah, I know. Fucking Earl Tom's still looking for his manhood. The idea that you have it's just stupid to me. Like
we're going to call from Earl Thomas.
But the thing is, it's always even been political. Before this week, on the last episode of this podcast, which I'm sure Keem and Ron did not watch, in the last episode of this podcast with Ron, we were talking about the MVP trophy. And I said that it was going to get political for Aaron. If you look at the makeup of the writers, they're liberal newspapers that are not going to want to vote for this guy because they have to go back into rooms with their friends and say, you voted for the fucking anti-vax Aaron Rodgers? There's a problem there. There's beyond that, you have these
immunized. He's immunized.
Beyond that, when you're trying to give Aaron Rodgers his 4th MVP trophy, it's 4th or 5th, 4th, right? his fourth MVP, it's supposed to be, because of the way that people look at it, harder to get your fourth, right? Because now you're in rarefied air. It's like, even when you're trying to get the fourth, we talk about it in basketball all the time. How many times do we talk about who's going to get MVP? And it's like, oh, they can't give it to Giannis the second year in a row because they gave it to him last year, or they can't give it to this dude because of this. It is never about only what happens on the court or on the field. It's always been kind of bullshit. I just think that I agree with you, Kane. If it's going to be a league trophy, then what it needs to be is a combination of everything that makes up what it is about the league. Fans, fucking players, former players, coaching staff, press, all that shit. You put it in an algorithm, have the motherfuckers at PFF figure it out. Just whatever you got to do to make it so that everybody has a voice in this, right? But trust me, I don't want the fans to have complete say. We saw what some of the fucking NBA All-Star teams look like before they had that goddamn mix, right? Like, there was some dumb shit that used to happen. And it's just some and we all know certain fan bases in the NFL are a lot larger than other fan bases. If it was just a fan base vote, is Aaron Rodgers MVP? Are there more Packers fans than fucking? You wouldn't think Trayvon fucking Diggs might have an opportunity to win the goddamn thing? And we all sitting here like, God damn it, what the fuck? Like, how you gonna give up 2,000 yards receiving and you still win MVP? Like, there's some dumb shit that could happen. They need to idiot-proof the fucking MVP trophy. And that means giving us more options and making it a much bigger process.
Well,
putting stats into it.
Just real quick. What's the hardest position to play in all the sports?
Quarterback.
Center.
So if Jonathan Taylor wanted to be MVP, should have learned to throw the ball. That's
just do
saying.
A best quarterback award, because then we
Could
can have nuance
Jonathan
with the
Taylor?
Conversation, though. If we did a best quarterback conversation, right? Let's say Lamar Jackson is healthy this entire season, right? And then we have to look at it. We have to say, well, shit, Lamar, we're looking at best quarterback. Lamar has this much on the ground. He's this percentage of the offense. Then we look at Aaron as like, man, he barely threw any interceptions. That's a debate I want to have. They've eliminated that. If the MVP ends up being the best quarterback, but not really, because then it's just, we don't know. It's just confusing because everybody has their own thing that they put into it. How about we just average what everyone thinks and come up with what the solution is? That's why I say Jay-Z is the greatest of all time, right? Is he the best lyricist of all time? No. Is he the best wordsmith of all time? No. Does he have more historical impact than anybody of all time? No. But if you average everything, motherfuckers are your top 5 everywhere. And nobody else can do that. So that's why he's the GOAT. So like, that's how I think about it.
That's fair. I will say that, I mean, if you look at least at NFL, the people in the Pro Bowl, as far as quarterbacks, they made a couple mistakes. I think we can all agree.
Pro Bowl.
Where they make mistakes at?
I don't know. One quarterback got in with less rushing, less passing yards, less passing TDs, less rushing TDs. You know, whatever.
Taylor Heineke didn't make it, so it's full of shit.
I think a lot of people who like get upset about this stuff like aren't considering like when the voting like.
Yeah,
happened.
no, it has like week 6.
It's like first 8 weeks type shit. It's like, did they look this good the first 8 weeks? Nah. How was Josh doing those first 8 weeks? Nah. Kind of ass. You know what I'm saying?
Regression season. All right. So
he's the first quarterback with 4,000 passing yards and
because Lamar got hurt. I saw it.
Hey man,
I saw it.
Do y'all know how they pick all pro teams? I'm looking all this up as we're going through it. I'm like,
it should be the All Madden team.
All full of shit.
It should be the All Madden team, by the way.
Oh, Keem, you had an answer?
No, is it writers?
Yeah. So like it's right now, it's USA Today, Sports Illustrated, and PFF.
Yeah.
But then you look at all the other time when you think about all pro, all the other organizations that have had say in the past, it's make believe, man. It's just it's honestly make believe. Like we can give it weight or we can treat it like it is right now, which is kind of horseshit.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, so it's fandom.
Also, the best.
It's all. I mean, we attribute
availability,
whatever it is we want to attribute to things, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm Aaron Rodgers and you see the history of what the trophy means when people say you're a league MVP, and when you can say when in the annals of time they always say how many times you were fucking MVP, how many Super Bowl championships you got. When they're going through the accolades, you get that fucking busting can. It means something, but we need to make it mean something.
That was the last time I got arrested. I was like, "You want a busting can?" And then Public indecency. I didn't understand it. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so I'm
Moving
gonna add
on.
one part in regards to Coach of the Year. If
It
the
ain't
Ravens
Kevin
make the
Stefanski.
playoffs, it should be Rich Bisaccia.
Somebody said that if the Titans finishes the number 1 seed, they've had 90 different players play for them this year, and it should be them. And you know what?
I wouldn't be mad at it.
Hard to debate that.
I wouldn't be mad at it either. But if
And guess who's back
we
this
still
week?
make it, Derrick Henry. Yeah.
Are you praying for a
they opened up
Jacksonville win?
I
Just so you
want
guys
Jacksonville.
can. Do you think the league would find the shit out of both teams if the Chargers and the Raiders just?
All right, look. Since you're bringing this shit up, it's the dumbest shit ever. It's not happening. We hate them. They hate us. It's not fucking happening. But if
Raiders are
Jaguars
gonna beat their
lose,
ass. Raiders gonna kill them.
Look, if the Jaguars win and the Ravens win, we're in no matter what. We'll just sit all our fucking starters and not risk anything.
No, it's win and end for you guys.
Yeah, but there's 3 different scenarios.
Yeah, they have more scenarios than we.
If the Colts lose to Jacksonville and the Ravens beat the Steelers, we're still in. And those games happen at 1:00. So we could be in the playoffs by 4. And our game is at 8.
You think Jacksonville's gonna beat the Colts?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
We're doing picks, aren't we?
I don't know.
Yeah, we need to do picks. All right, let's recap last week and get the picks before we start talking about any of this shit.
That's what I'm fucking picking.
No. You're jumping ahead. No, we're not skipping over this shit. And I said shit because I'm talking about the Washington football team's stadium right now.
Ooh.
No,
yeah.
Let's do our national state of the Washington football team.
We should. Like,
hey guys, it's a shitstorm here in DC.
Yep, literally.
It's coming
you
from
can be in the
roof.
game.
It's coming from the ceiling.
Hit you in the face, or you can fall off a railing and almost injure the QB.
First of all, if 8
better than what the team could
drunk
in the game.
guys are gonna hurt Jalen Hurts, he needs to do some more push-ups or eat some Wheaties.
The railing could have hit him in his leg.
Like there are multiple facets of this thing, but none of them are good for anybody, really. The person who looks like a winner in this entire thing, and I'm actually giving him kudos, is Jalen Hurts, and I'll get to that. Beyond those things, number one, if you see the type of railing it is, I think just as a human being, you'd realize that enough weight on that bitch is probably going to lean over. Like, just have enough common sense. It just looks like one of those railings that are not going to fucking stand. But here's the thing. The team should have never had railings like that when you're talking about in the tunnel where you have NFL play and everybody's trying to clamor for something. I don't understand how it hasn't given away. Oh, no, I do know how. There's not enough Washington fans. So beyond those things, look, it's bad. Like the worst part about it is that afterwards, when you see the video, the guys fall down, Jalen's trying to help some guys up and everything. The team comes out and says that everyone that fell was offered medical assistance by the team, and that they were trying to make sure they were taken care of. In the video, you can see security staffers telling people to get the fuck off the field and pushing them back up into the stands. Right?
You know what? Can you add Tyler, the creator, right here saying, well, that was a fucking lie, please?
No, I'm good.
Or
too much out of it.
Or could you add Young Dolph get paid, young nigga get paid?
Or can you add
there should be,
why the fuck you lying? Why you all?
All right, before y'all memify the fuck out of this, let's just who snorted just now? James got a snort gun. All right. So I'm hopeful that there are lawsuits, right? It pains me that they're Eagles fans, but who gives a shit? Just sue the fuck out of it. It's like, please sue us, Eagles fans. But Jalen Hurts, the letter was a thing of beauty, sir. That was a chess move on a level of which I got to give you your props. To sit back and pen that letter and to do it and I'm just worried about the safety concerns of other fans that support us and the players. And I want to make sure the NFL, the Washington football team, is doing something about it. I love it, man.
I look forward to hearing your response.
It's great. And the NFL is apparently already investigating, even though we know that they like to protect the Washington football team after what happened a few years ago. The league is kind of afraid of us after what happened with the when they slapped us with those fines.
Yeah.
Yeah, the league is afraid of us, Jerry, They're afraid of us and Jerry, and we hate the Giants front office. There's a whole lot of things happen behind the scenes in the NFL. The Giants are who ratted us out.
About what?
You remember in the year that basically there wasn't a salary cap sort of thing that happened?
Oh, yeah.
And we, us and the Cowboys kind of said, well, fuck it. There's no agreement. And if we did all agree, it's kind of collusion. So fuck off. We're going to do this. And we dumped a bunch of our money. Then they came back the next year and took like $36 million from our salary cap. So fucking insane. There's no love lost. And I'm sure Dan Snyder then got dirt on the league, which is why you have these Cold War that is happening behind the scenes that has seen guys like John Gruden get fucking casted out. Look, and then on top of all those things, when the Washington football team sees something bad happening, they already used the Sean Taylor Memorial. So, hey, new team name. New team name, guys. Don't talk about what happened. New team name. Get excited. You see the jerseys, black helmets? Get excited, motherfucker. Like, that's what we do. We are a colossal shit show. And because I am sick in the head, I'm really excited about the new jersey. It's the only thing I really care about right now.
You're so disappointing.
Motherfucker,
sometimes.
I don't want to hear your shit. You know what this is like. Just because you found the cure in Buffalo because that fucking team started winning, you piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. And Buffalo was still losing. You cocksucking mother.
All right, so what do you think about the Admirals?
Like I remember that there was the list, and we gone through the list. Admirals is not my favorite, but I will tell you right now, I am so much more excited about a uniform I could be excited about compared to the team name, if I'm being completely honest. The jerseys look like they're going to be dope as fuck, and that excites me. Like, the thing with the Wizards, like, even when I fucking hate the Wizards name, the worst thing about the Wizards was those stupid fucking teal colors that had nothing to do with anything. And it was like Wizards and the teal was like, what are you doing? But as long as they keep the burgundy and gold and give us something kind of cool, Admirals isn't terrible. I prefer Commanders over Admirals, I guess, to a certain degree. Of that list, Armado was still something that I really, really was attracted to. Red Tails looks like it's probably not going to be the name, even though of the names that everybody was leaking what it was going to be, I was most excited about Red Tails.
They showed one of the planes, and they were like, look at this part of the jersey. It's just like the plane. So
that's not true, because the same part of the jersey is the same thing you see on like the DC flag and other things the Washington football team has had in the past. Everybody's just searching for shit. But you could tell there's going to be a W on the helmet based on the reflection that you can see in the mirror. But it looks like we're going to have a black jersey alternate, which excites me. There are certain things. Once again, I'm a dumb fucking fan of a terrible organization that does more harm in the world than good. I acknowledge what I am. I acknowledge what it is. And I'm still very excited for February 2nd, even though they're going to find some way to fuck this up.
I feel like they already leaked everything.
It's not that they leaked everything. It's that I think everybody was searching for stuff. Like the whole thing with if you clicked a certain link for Washington Admirals, you were going to go to this website or whatever. That was bullshit. Anybody can do that. You can buy the rights to a fucking thing and do the redirect. It was legit, from what I understand, Major League Quidditch. If you guys know what Quidditch is, there's it.
Yeah, they played at Maryland.
Yeah, the number one team in the country. DT, let's go.
Oh,
yeah. So apparently there's a Washington.
You lucky we glossed over that ass whooping, boy. Because when I was watching the game, I was like, I should text him. I ain't gonna do it.
I mean,
the best part was like your new coach was in the booth, like doing an interview. He's like, like we're gonna have a really strong defense, and then we fucking threw like a 50-yard bomb touchdown right after he said that shit.
Hey man, he's not in charge yet.
Maryland, Mark Turgeon's gone. It was fucking nuts. I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah, I'm happy for that. Also, I'm pissed off that DJ Durkin is getting another job. Like he's going to Texas A&M to be a DC.
DJ Durkin.
He still needs to answer for the shit that happened at Maryland, but we'll let that go.
I'm going to advertise something here on the show because I did give you guys a shout out on the other pods. I'm going to give the other pod a shout out. On Dish or Divided, which is the other podcast I do is more local to Washington sports, we are going to do a deep dive in the Washington football organization, step by step, all throughout how to fix the organization. It is probably going to be a summer-long series. We're going to start very, very soon. It's going to take quite some time to fix all the issues there with the team. But I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun because of how much of a shit show this thing is. I mean, one might say a nuclear bomb is the best way to fucking fix this team, but we'll see.
Is it going to be 74 episodes? Like
we're not sure how long it's going to be, but we know it's going to take some time.
All right. A nice little how to fix.
I will say that I like Ron Rivera's response. I was watching one of his interviews, and he was like, "Yeah, I knew it was going to take a long time to fix what's going on here." And I was like, "Look at a realist."
Ron's been warning us the entire time. When he first got hired, he said it was a 5-year process. Then after last year, he admitted, he said, and it rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way. I didn't like hearing it being said, but I understood what he said. He's like, I think the worst thing that happened to us was winning the division last year.
Yeah,
and it's true because we had, by strength of schedule, the hardest by victories. We had the hardest schedule in the National Football League this year, which only happens because we won the division, right? Because they figure out division. So we played all the division winners of last year. It was rough. So I mean, did it help us? I think trial by fire. We're in a better position than we were last year, but we'll see.
All right. So let's move into the picks for this week, guys.
Can we recap what happened last week, sir?
Fine. What do you want to talk about?
Motherfucker, who did what?
The Bucks barely beat the Jets.
No, in terms of how did we do?
Oh, shit. I thought I already did that. My bad.
No.
All right.
No.
Cool. What? I mean, King, why are you laughing? You got 8 right.
Because
you got 8 right.
Bro,
he's just spoiling your day.
Nah,
Dave,
and then K-Dot, you got 12.
You sent me
got 13
for $400, G. I don't give a fuck about them picks, bro. You know
won.
that. You know that.
You won.
Hold on, what happened?
You got the money. Yeah, I paid him already. I paid him and Ryan.
Oh, for the with the fantasy football?
Yeah, fantasy. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, do I owe more money? You're still getting the $250 from me, Cam. Just wait.
Look, as soon as the game finished, I sent that money up. Because I was like, I wanted to like, it was like the last minute. I was like, fam, let me just send this shit. I was like, but if Chubb hits a run, like, and then Ryan wins, I'm gonna be pissed off because I'm like, fuck.
I'm saying, I do want to say this though, before look, any bets we make on this podcast, we need to have a way to verify that does not have me trying to look through our back catalog, trying to figure out when we randomly made this stupid fucking bet. I'm going to pay, but it hurts me that I don't remember shit. And there's no, like, you remember we used to have the sheet of paper, the dress bet and everything? We can hold it up every podcast. We need something verifiable. Just that. Or at least in that episode, we put it in the description or something, but we need some sort of way of verifying there's bets that happen.
We'll do like jazz hands or some shit. That's the point.
I brought the $250 bet up on the other podcast. They said I shouldn't pay. The team should find it.
No, it's written on one. It's written on one of the sheets that
it's written. I'm sorry.
It's written. It's written on one of the screenshots I've sent you.
Is it
okay?
Yeah, I definitely wrote it down.
All right, I'll take a look. I'll go look through.
All right. So Keem had 8, K-Dot had 12, Ryan had 13, I had 14. This is one of our best weeks collectively ever.
Well, because
we got a lot of these things right.
Everybody was in the double digits, yeah.
It's fucked up.
Just saying.
All right. So
motherfucker won the fantasy football thing. I can't talk smack there. Let me get something in.
All right, season total. K-Dot, you extended your lead to double digits. So now Keem has 148, you have 158.
Whoa, I'm in third?
No, you're in second, actually. My bad. Ryan, you have 155. So K-Dot caught you.
I've been caught him.
Oh yeah, you've been caught him. But you just like cut up like one game. So all right.
So he's 3 behind me now.
Yep.
This week's gonna be very fucking interesting because I don't think we have a lot of the same games picked.
And then I'm at 172.
Yeah,
right.
You don't count.
It's fine. I'm the Aaron Donald of this. The Aaron Donald of this. I keep seeing like the win versus pressure versus double team rate. This shit is crazy. This man's all the way over there in the fucking top right corner.
Aaron Donald's insane.
So
he really is. All right.
You're gonna be sitting on the sidelines after week 1 of the playoffs. Aaron Donald.
All right. Chiefs and Broncos Saturday game. Who y'all got?
We got Saturday games.
We have 2 Saturday games.
I hate the NFL.
They didn't determine what games are being played on Saturday for a while, which kind of sucked.
Yeah, they had to figure out what was going to make the money.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever.
No one wants to watch fucking Lions in primetime on Saturday.
They do every Thanksgiving.
Which we bitch about every single year.
And what happened?
It's the ice tradition. Who cares?
It's tradition.
What happened this year?
The ice game.
What happened this year?
Bitches about that. The ice
Everybody
game.
bitches about it.
Does anybody remember what happened?
I'm taking my nap.
Lions game.
You the only one fits.
The Lions.
Right.
Yeah, I remember.
Guys, Chiefs and Broncos. Who y'all got?
Chiefs.
Okay. Ken? Chiefs. Okay, cool. I have the Chiefs as well. Cowboys and Eagles. Who y'all got?
Cowboys.
Okay.
Eagles.
They have something to play for.
Cowboys.
Don't the Eagles have something to play for too?
Nope.
They're in.
Oh, okay.
Eagles.
Kim, who
Cowboys.
You got? Okay. So the Cowboys have to win. The Eagles don't.
The Cowboys want to win to be the second seed.
Okay. And what about the Eagles? It don't matter.
Eagles are in. We fucked that up.
All right. I was gonna go Eagles, but I'm gonna go Cowboys just because of all the shit that people are talking about them right now after their loss to the Cardinals.
I mean, Kyler's 7-0 at his hometown. So
Whiffed versus the Giants.
Whiffed.
Okay.
Yeah. Same whiff.
I'm hoping Kyle Allen gets some playing time.
Admirals.
You know
Red
what?
Tails?
I'm putting an A.
You know, I will say that I kind of like the way when you said it, I was like, I get down with that name. Because when it started getting used, the same way I felt about watching football team, and now I'm just kind of like, okay, right. I like saying whiffed.
You know what? I'm going with the David Robinsons.
Admirals.
Yeah. All right. Bengals and Browns.
First off,
whatever. You say worse jokes than everybody.
I know.
Browns? Really? Baker's not playing.
Joe Burrow's
not playing.
So?
But I'm just saying you said Baker's not playing. I'm like, okay.
Baker might be the worst part of that team.
Hold on, here's the thing. Baker shouldn't have been playing the whole fucking year. I'll take Case Keenum. I'm okay.
That might help them having Case instead of Baker.
All right, so Kata,
I'm saying on record right now. Kevin Stefanski's trying to kill Baker Mayfield. Get him away.
You have the Bengals.
No, I got the Browns.
Oh, yeah, the Browns. All right, cool.
Joey B's not playing.
And neither is Joe Mixon.
Thank you. Yeah. Browns.
So who else? Who else has the Browns?
Am I alone on Brown Island?
I'm going to go to Bengals.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Look, the Bengals do have something to play for. They could potentially, if some teams lose,
that's why I don't
understand.
They could have. Yeah, I don't understand why they're not playing.
Joe Burrow
needs to get healthy.
Fucking destroyed back there.
Yeah, he did get hurt.
He's getting. So is Mixon.
Burrow's holding on to the football entirely too long. He's got some Brett Favre in him, but he's not as country dumb as Brett. So like Burrow, like Brett Favre will sit back in the pocket holding on the football too long, get hit all day, and laugh and get up and just keep going. Burrow's holding on the ball too long and getting fucking smacked. And he's got to stop. His career is not going to be long if he keeps doing this.
He's Carson Palmer, Reed 2.0.
Yeah, but they just need to build up the offensive line.
It's not just the offensive line. Burrow is holding on to the fucking football too long. He's not afraid to get hit. We get it, Joe. You're a strong man. We understand. Yeah, fucking stop.
He needs help on the offensive line because they're not good.
I think it's more Joe than the offensive line. Honestly.
Yeah, the offensive line has opened up gaps all year for Joe Mixon to go.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you watch how long he's holding on the football, he's got time back there. He's just waiting for stuff to develop past a certain point, which has helped. It gets Jamar open, but he's taking too many hits.
Who's the backup for the Browns? Keenan out? No, it's
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum,
who should have been starting this whole fucking season, basically, for the Browns.
He's gonna get sacked 40 times.
What? Baker got sacked 9 times in the Steelers game. Stefanski's trying to kill Baker. Yeah, I don't understand why anybody's not talking about this sport.
TJ Watt needs 2 to break the record.
Yeah,
he'll get the 2.
Oh yeah, he's gonna break the record. Which I don't know about we all, but amongst my other friends, we were like, yeah, that's never going down.
I just need Baker to get out of
I
there.
mean,
come on
17 games. So
no, he missed 2
But
games.
no, he only played 12.
He missed 2 games this year.
He's only played in 12. 12. Yeah, I was on the same shit, James. I was on the same shit. Like, it's 17 games. You ain't did shit, bitch. But he only played.
the only reason why we won against the Steelers because he didn't play the second half. So I get what you're saying. All right.
No, TJ's been otherworldly. He's been my defensive player of the year up until when I thought he wouldn't break the record to get too close. I thought he was kind of trailing off a bit after the injury. But if he could see, because Kevin Stefanski wants Baker Mayfield dead. There was no reason for this.
I saw a meme that it said where the Browns will be in the playoffs, and it was at home with Baker Mayfield.
You have Nick Chubb. What are you doing?
Why didn't they Why didn't they give him the ball?
He's trying to kill Baker Mayfield.
Like they had Chubb on the sidelines. I'm like, fam, what are y'all doing?
Because you know what they say? We're trying. You know what they say? We're trying to protect Nick. We're trying to protect Nick Chubb's health. Hey Baker, your arm still on? Fuck back in there.
Yeah. That was crazy.
It doesn't make any. Case Keenum's upper echelon backup quarterback in the league. Yeah. Like you have to start Case Keenum a few games. Nobody's like, oh my God, the world is imploding. Case Keenum can win you fucking games. I don't understand it. I will not understand it. Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield fucking hate they have to hate each other. They're
protecting Case Keenum for next year.
All right, Steelers and Ravens. Go ahead, Keem. Ravens, okay. K-Dot?
Ravens.
Okay. Ryan?
Big Ben's last game, please. Steelers.
Okay.
Quick question for Keem. I know I've been sidebarring too much, but quick question for Keem. Did you listen to the podcast last week?
I didn't listen to the whole thing, no.
Do you think Greg Roman needs to be fired?
I flipped on it. I think I've always thought that they needed a better pass game coordinator. Because like the Ringer did a really good, speaking of Ringer, they did a really good article on like the offense and why it like sputters is because of the way he designs his run game, because of the personnel that he has to have on the field. And it doesn't allow for like an open, like spread offense type of thing, and like which Lamar could do. So he doesn't necessarily need to be fired. If they did fire him, it'd be cool. Like it's fine. Like, but like you got to hire somebody like they need to be like Byron Leftwich level good as far as like offensive coordinator. Somebody who's gonna like open up the offense, or fucking like Shanahan, like what he'll do with Trey Lance. Like he can, like Lamar can do that shit too. But it's like I get why. Like the running game is successful, but the passing game isn't because of the running game and the way he designs his running game.
It was just me and Ron got into a very, very heated discussion about the Ravens on this. I was more blaming the injuries and the personnel more than I'm blaming Greg Roman for what's wrong with the Ravens. But
it was like that before.
Huh?
It was like that last year.
I still think that the biggest struggle with the Ravens is lack of fucking wide receiver talent. Like in order to run a spread offense, that to me is, I have a big issue with that. And I think that it's almost impossible when you have your three best running backs go down before week 1.
I think they have enough wide receiver talent. That used to be a thing, and I think this year kind of proved that, like, okay, well now this year, like Bateman's been good as a rookie. Yeah. He only played like, but
when
he missed
he's
like
in.
6,
right,
like but he missed like 6 games, and then like Hollywood's good. Like put him in the slot. We had Sammy Watkins. He made some clutch catches, and then you got Mark Andrews. I don't think that necessarily like Roman needs to be fired, but they do need to do something about their passing game. He needs to change it. Like it's like this season was like injuries and like, but their offense has been the reason they've lost a lot of games. Like it's some of the play calls are like shit. Some of them were like, oh, okay, good. There was a guy open. Should have saw the guy open. But then like you see why they didn't see the guy open, because the play call was shit.
Fair enough. Ron, not quite getting the apology from me because fuck you, but it sounds like I wasn't all the way right. So I'll give you that.
What'd you say, James?
That was some bullshit.
Fuck Ron.
All right.
Show up in all red looking like goddamn Bone. Fuck wrong with him.
I thought y'all was cool.
I like Ron. I actually want. I want to be. I think I could do a show with Ron.
I know. All right. So
I die of a heart attack.
Steelers and Ravens. I want the Ravens to win. But I think the Steelers might win. But I'm gonna pick the Ravens. Okay. Packers and Lions. I have the Packers.
Lions.
Okay.
Go, Ryan. It doesn't matter. Like, I can't catch you.
You never could. God damn, I'm funny.
I mean, technically you can, but okay.
Packers.
Okay.
Lions.
All right. Jordan Love did not look good.
That was specifically I want to catch him pick. I don't give a shit.
Wait, so Aaron Rodgers not playing?
No.
You sure?
Huh?
Yeah, they might, but I mean, Aaron might. I think Aaron will play a series.
Yeah, he's gonna come out, throw 2 touchdowns in one series.
2 and 1.
That's the only thing.
Right.
And it's very possible Aaron goes out there and just lights it up. But I'm thinking he plays. I'm thinking he plays a series or 2. It doesn't go as smoothly as they think it'll go, and just be like, all right, fuck it, Aaron, just sit down.
All right, Colts and Jaguars. I'm going with the Jaguars.
Colts.
As am I.
This nigga hit.
Nah, did y'all hear what the Jaguar fans are gonna do?
Kari.
Right. No, so they're pissed off that the Jaguars are keeping their GM. So they're all going to dress up in clown gear and shit and go to the game. So you're gonna see a bunch of clowns. This shit's gonna be crazy.
There's more than 50 of them on their sideline. I know there's gonna be a lot of clowns, bro.
Yeah, what clown uniform? Fucking Jaguars jersey.
Like oh wow, that's fucking up. Like the red nose and everything, like face paint, red nose, red wig.
Yeah, I mean
whatever.
that's what they look.
There's no way the Jaguars win this game. They are a 15.5 point underdog. And no team who's ever been that big of a favorite and like to make the playoffs and needed just that win has ever lost a game.
Trevor Lawrence looks fucking terrible. And Urban Meyer, you destroyed the man. I feel so bad. I told
He's
you
gonna
guys.
be good.
I don't think he can come back after this, man. I think this ruins him. I think this because here's the thing. Do you think the Jaguars are gonna make the right choice going into season 2? And then they're going to get him a new system. The dude is fucked. I feel bad for him.
If they hire Byron Leftwich, which is all they need to do, it'll be perfect.
They'll hire Byron Leftwich.
It'll be perfect.
They'll hire Byron Leftwich, still have the same GM, then hire some jackass defense coordinator. It's going to be a shit show. It's the Jaguars.
But they got Etienne
So
back.
let me say this. Let me tell you the last few games. Okay.
No, sorry.
All right. So Jacksonville lost to the Colts 17-23, the last game this year. Then before that, they lost 14-28. Then before that, they won 27-20. And then before that, they won 38-20.
They're not going to win.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's on.
Didn't you pick the Jacksonville?
Reverse.
All right. Ryan, who you got? Colts. All right. Next game, Bears and Vikings. Who y'all got?
I gotta look it up. I forget.
I'm being told that Matt Nagy's already been told that this will be his final game.
No shit.
Said that 80 times this year.
No, this is the first time I said it.
Vikings, Chicago, back up the Brinks truck, go get Jim Harbaugh.
I think the Vikings should try to get Eric Bieniemy, but okay.
You mean the
They
Bears?
should.
The Bears or the Vikings?
Both.
The Vikings, either.
Both.
I don't think Zimmer is Zimmer gone. I don't think Zimmer's gone.
He should be.
He should be.
I think
People like him too much. He's just
Give
some likable
me-
guy.
the shit he said about Kellen Mond was kind of fucked up.
No, he's just
He was
being
like,
honest.
you don't want to
I
get,
seen him.
you don't want to get a good look at Kellen Mond. He's like, why? I see him every day. Like, the fuck? That's fucked up.
It's Mike
That
Zimmer,
is.
man.
That's fucked up.
It's Mike Zimmer. That's just how he operates.
You want to get a look at your backup QB? Why?
No.
I see him every day.
He's back up for a reason, fuckers. Shut
I
up.
seen him.
Disrespectful, man. All right, so I'm going with the Bears. They're gonna take Nagy out with a bang. All right, who y'all got?
Gunshot. Quiet Alec.
Bears.
Look, man, I'm not upsetting anybody from Chirac. I love y'all.
If you talk shit about Nate Nagy, they'll love you. Build a statue in your honor.
Who y'all
All right,
picking?
nope.
I
Who you
said
picking?
Vikings are. Yeah, I'm waiting on you.
Like it.
And Ryan?
Bears.
Bears. All right, cool. Titans and Texans. I have the Titans.
Titans.
Okay.
Ryan?
Go ahead, pick the neck.
Ryan, come on, man.
Come on, catch me.
Huh?
What happened to the hard stop, Ryan? Come on.
Man, y'all's been bullshitting over there talking.
I'm sorry. I got high before the pod. I apologize.
Ryan, who you got? Ryan, who you got?
Texans.
Oh, Texans. Oh,
Titans.
shit. All right.
Titans.
I'm realizing if I get my pick out quick, then Ryan has to change things.
Hey, when I get a chance to change whatever he has, I'm doing it.
I'm just trying to get my picks out real fast.
Saints and Falcons. Who y'all got?
Falcons. Yeah, go ahead and pick the Saints. It's time, baby. Matt Ryan time.
Keem, you got to pick before me once.
Saints.
Yeah, Saints.
Okay.
Falcons.
Seahawks and Cardinals. I'm going Cardinals.
Cards.
Okay.
Cards, Seahawks.
What?
The Cardis Hawks. The Cardis.
Are you doing that head tails?
Call it Foxes.
Are you going the head tails shit? Like, what are you doing? All right.
Cardinals.
Okay. Jets and Bills. I have the Bills.
Bills. They're vying for that number 1 seed.
Got to pay them.
Bucks and Panthers. I'm going Bucks.
Bucks. Tom is angry.
Panthers.
You don't even have to play.
Your barber must have gave you a free haircut. You keep picking the fucking Panthers.
No.
All right. Ryan?
Fuck. This is a toss-up for me. I don't know if the Bucks are going to come out, but I'll take the Bucks.
The Bucks have to play.
Yeah, they do, but like, will they?
The Patriots and Dolphins.
Pats.
Okay.
Pats are playing for something. The Dolphins are garbage.
I'm taking the Patriots. Keem and K-Dot.
Dolphins.
Pats.
Keem's trying to come in as last place.
He's like, you know what? Fuck it. Like,
I'm breaking records over here.
either I'm catching up or I'm going to be down bad. All right. 49ers and Rams. I have the Rams.
Rams.
Okay.
Wait, don't the Niners need to win?
Yep.
Niners.
Okay.
The Rams want to too, though.
Yeah, but
2-2. Niners.
Okay.
Actually, Rams. You know what? You're right.
Fuck you.
God damn it. All right. Last game is the Chargers.
The Niners can still get in even if they lose. Just putting that out there.
The last game, Chargers and Raiders. Who y'all got?
Chargers.
Okay.
Oh, Raiders, baby. Oak Town.
They don't play there anymore.
Bro.
They don't play there anymore.
No, I don't give a fuck. Fuck Vegas, bro. Oak Town.
Right.
Give me
Come on.
Herbert. Give me
Come on,
Herbert.
Herbert. Yeah.
All right. This game, I'm going my heart. Raiders. I'm going my heart.
Hey, I'm rooting for you, but also for me. So I was really
All right,
61.
so
I'm so high right now. I don't know why the weed's like starting to kick in like a lot more.
Good.
I smoked it. It wasn't edible. Keem, when he said he sounded like Kermit throwing his hands up in the air.
all right. So final thoughts. Let me do mine right quick. Tonight, actually right now, I'm missing the game because I love you guys and I'm committed. Oh, we're getting destroyed?
No. You guys are winning. It's halftime. Steph is having a terrible game. Go ahead. That's all I care about.
Okay, cool. But it's Dirk jersey retirement today. The greatest player in Mavs history. One of the top 20 players of all time, in my opinion. If you guys disagree, you can tell me, or you could teach me if I'm wrong. But
You're right.
yeah.
You're right.
But so many great memories. Like Yeah, I don't have time to get into all of it, but yeah, congrats, Dirk. Who's next?
Congrats, Dirk. I'll go second. This won't be too long. Try not to make it too long. So I don't know if you guys saw this. Everybody knows this. I'm a big comic book nerd. And it came out like what DC's plan is for their new Justice League.
Yeah.
Apparently going to like erase like, Snyder shit, but then like that came out that wasn't true. But apparently the new plan is for the Justice League to start with Batgirl, Supergirl, and Flash. And I think that is the dumbest fucking idea I've ever heard. That came out of DC
shit
piece, because that is stupid as shit. Listen, I think they're trying to do it because of inclusivity, and like being inclusive for the sake of inclusivity is stupid as fuck. First of all, if you're gonna do it, at least do it with some cool fucking characters, because Batgirl and Supergirl are two of the worst fucking characters in DC's fucking canon. Like, bro, like they're not interesting. You have interesting women that are good characters if you want to go and mine that field. You got Cassandra Cain, you got so many other fucking characters. Batwoman's better than Batgirl. Like, oh my fucking God. It is fucking stupid. DC, get it together. Like, I love the Batman. Batman looks like it's gonna be good. So at least Matt Reeves isn't gonna fuck that up. But like all your other Black Adam too. But man, come on, bro. Like, you want to do a Justice League with like Batgirl and like Supergirl? Like, nobody care about them characters.
I just hope Matt Reeves, the Batman.
I'm trying to figure out what happened to the other one. Like, what are they gonna do with the other one?
What other one? Which one?
Other Justice League. Like, is that just done?
That's just dead. That's just dead.
Yeah, it's over.
Why?
DC has to go back to the drawing board. They're trying to catch Marvel. They don't understand. They're not going to. They do their own thing.
But that's the problem. They're trying to do a universe. Don't do a universe.
Stop doing it. Exactly. I don't know why they have to.
Good movies.
To me, keep Shazam and Black Adam, same universe, do your thing. Because it seems tonally you could do that. The Batman, leave as a separate fucking entity, the same way they did the Joker, which I have problems with, but just leave it as a standalone thing. Just let them do the standalone thing. Stop trying to create a fucking universe. Everybody needs to calm the fuck down with that shit. God, so annoying.
I got three things. I want to piggyback off that. Doctor Who switched the Doctor from a man to a woman, which initially I was like, that's great. Until I realized that they just wrote the Doctor as the same man, which makes for one very annoying man, but also a very unbelievable and also annoying woman. And I was like, well, you made a mistake, because you'd have to write her a new character for this to make any sense at all, because nothing that she's doing is believable to me. Very annoying. Two, congrats, Ovi. It's now the PowerPoints goals leader for the NHL of all time. And number three was important, but it's escaping me. Hold. Oh, yeah. If the MLB doesn't at least hold one series of negotiations for this goddamn lockout, you're going to kill me. I will literally die, because when I wake up in the morning, I have to read actual news. I don't want to be reading real news right now. It's depressing. I want to see who the Mets are looking at. Where are the prospects? What are they doing? Also, Keen, did you get gray hairs right after your child was born? Yes or no?
No, these have been here for years.
I think that's a lie, and I'm finished.
My gray, I don't know if it's showing up on camera. Like, I've got so much more gray than black on this side. It's so weird. My final thoughts. Number one.
Oh.
What?
Oh, okay. So Antonio Brown just put out a lengthy statement saying that he's getting surgery on his ankle.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Should I read?
I'm
not reading this shit.
Are you gonna zoom in for his surgery, Ryan? Are you like
look,
I want to watch the surgery to make sure.
Hey, somebody go to the Ian Rappaport's Twitter and read it, because I'm not reading all this shit.
Plantar fasciitis or whatever.
Are we doing this on? Should we do this on pod? Ian Rapp.
Guys, we're at 30 minutes.
Sorry.
Over my deadline. Hurry up.
Put it up. Motherfucker, this is long.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to the Bucs fans and my teammates. The Bucs have helped me return to productive football after I had difficulties that could have ended my career. We worked together to resolve those difficulties, and I will always appreciate that. Being part of a Super Bowl champion team and a contender is a dream come true. I make mistakes. I'm working on myself, and I have positive influences around me. But one thing I don't do is shy away from playing hard on the field. No one can accuse me of not giving my all on every play. Because of my commitment to the game, I relented to pressure directly from my coach to play injured. Despite the pain, I suited up. The staff injected me with what I now know was a powerful and sometimes dangerous painkiller that the NFLPA has warned against using, and I gave it my all for the team. I played until it was clear that I could not use my ankle to safely perform my playing responsibilities. On top of that, the pain was extreme. I took a seat on the sideline, and my coach came to me very upset and shouted, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" I told him it's my ankle, but he knew that. It was well documented, and we had discussed it. He then ordered me to get on the field. I said, "Coach, I can't." He didn't call for medical attention. Instead, he shouted at me, "You're done," while he ran his finger across his throat. Coach was telling me that if I didn't play hurt, that I was done with the Bucs. I didn't quit. I was cut. I didn't walk away from my brothers. I was thrown out. Being fired on the sideline for having a painful injury was bad enough. Then came their spin. Coach denied on national television that he knew about my ankle. That's 100% inaccurate. Not only did he know that I missed several games with the injury, he and I exchanged texts days before the game where he clearly acknowledged my injury. He obviously knew I was on the injury list, and the GM acknowledged after the game in text messages to my camp that I did tell Coach about my ankle pain on Sunday. I know we were losing to the Jets, and that was frustrating for all of us, but I could not make football plays on the ankle. Yes, I walked off the field, but there's a major difference between launching from the line and taking hits compared to jogging off the field with a rush of emotion going through your mind. I'm reflecting on my reaction, but there was a trigger. The trigger was someone telling me that I'm not allowed to feel pain. I acknowledge my past, but my past does not make me a second-class citizen. My past does not forfeit my right to be heard when I am in pain. First, they cut me. Now they cage me. Instead of asking how I felt or getting to the bottom of it, the team texted my camp promoting a totally false narrative that I randomly acted out without any explanation. They even told us in writing, "Don't spin this any other way." I have stress. I have things I need to work on. But the worst part of this has been the Bucs' repeated effort to portray this as a random outburst. They are telling people that first I walked off, then I was cut. No. I was cut first, and then I went home. They threw me out like an animal, and I refused to wear their brand on my body. So I took my jersey off. As part of the ongoing investigation, as part of their ongoing cover-up, they're acting like I wasn't cut and now demanding that I see a doctor of their choice to examine my ankle. What they did not know until now is that on Monday morning, I had an urgent MRI on my ankle. It shows broken bone fragments stuck in my ankle, the ligament torn from the bone, and cartilage loss, which are beyond painful. You can see the bone bulging from the outside, but that must and can be repaired. The MRI has been read by 2 top orthopedic surgeons in New York City, including Dr. Martin O'Malley at Hospital for Special Surgery. Not realizing that I had already scheduled a surgery at HSS, the Bucs ordered me under penalty of discipline and with a few hours' notice to show up to a more junior doctor at HSS for another opinion. What a joke. They're playing like I wasn't cut, giving me a surprise attack order to show up to another doctor with no reasonable notice, and setting this whole thing up as a basis to cut me because what they did on Sunday was not legitimate. Sorry, GM. I already received a confirming opinion from the top doc at the hospital you ordered me to go to. Fuck. I love the Bucs fans. I really do. I love my teammates and everyone who showed me grace and believed in me. I gave the Bucs everything I had in the field. What the organization is doing now needs to be cleaned up. I do not understand how people publicly claiming to be concerned about my mental health can do these things to me in private. Once my surgery is complete, I'll be back to 100% and looking forward to next season. Business gonna be booming.
Goddamn.
That is damning. That is damning.
It's also written by an attorney. So
yeah, that wasn't him. I knew that wasn't him, but that was still great.
That is damning.
Look, as we said earlier in the pod, the truth was going to come out at some point, and whoever the truth comes out about is going to be hell to pay. It's a hell of a thing. I'm glad we actually read that because it clears up shit that we said earlier in the podcast, and I'll make sure I have this. My final thoughts. I'm sorry.
It's only one side.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
but here's the thing: the other side is the Bucs haven't done shit, so doesn't look great. Right now, my final thoughts. No Time to Die was an amazing fucking movie. A great way to wrap up the Daniel Craig James Bond's movies. It's the third best of the Craig movies, behind Casino Royale and Skyfall. Much better than Spectre and much better than Quantum of Solace. Outside of those things, Don't Look Up, also a movie that I thoroughly enjoyed. Satire is not dead, which is something that we were worried about after the Trump administration. It just, as most of these people in the media are figuring out, it hurts when the satire's on you and the shit that we do collectively as society. It sucks when it's pointed back at you. But take responsibility. We're all fucking responsible for what's happening with global warming. And the more we bullshit about it, the worse it's going to be.
I think what I
They're
took
just gonna
more,
put us in the metaverse, and then we're
what
good.
what I took more from that movie was the collective. I'm worried about me and not about anybody else mentality, and what that gets you is, well, you just ignore the bigger picture, which inevitably ends poorly. I don't know if anybody's read about the Romans or the Greeks.
American.
Hey man, we're only 300 years old. Don't fucking forget that.
My favorite quote, and it's one that I've lived by the last few years, and one that I tell everybody I see. American individualism is a suicide pact.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens with the Bucks.
I thought it was gonna be fuck bitches get money, but okay, I like yours too.
Yeah, that was damning.
Yep.
If he's saying all the receipts exist that he is claiming exist in that, this is going to be interesting news. And I think we have our first 15 and out segment, James.
Yep.
All right.
Hey, it's been
fuck bitches get money.
It's been 40 minutes. 40 minutes over.
If possible, can we cut that part and then just upload that?
No, it's not gonna fit right. I'll take a look at it. We'll see what I can do.
All right, cool. All right.
If peeing your pants is cool, I'm Miles Davis. I'm out.
If you didn't know now, you know, because he told you.